All right, hello and welcome. How's everyone doing? And I got Jeff in the wrong spot. Hold on. Boop. There we go. So sometimes / all the time, StreamYards just like shoves you over to the left. I don't know why. It's a mystery to me. It's one of the
because I'm always right. So it has to make me left. I don't know.
We'll go with it.
Okay.
We'll go with it. At least you're always
I'm
right
not
about
always
Babylon
right.
5.
Well, I've only seen it about how many times?
A few times, yeah.
A few. Maybe a few too many times. I'm not sure.
No, definitely not. But it's
so
weird
rewatchable.
because this is like one of the few sites I say I accept all cookies. I just want to be able to log in, and the way I had it set up last time be set up this time. And each time it's like, do you mind accepting cookies? I'm like, yes. I've already said yes. Why is this a thing?
It never asks me.
Did he just fall down? I think LDG fell out of his chair.
I love this clip.
Give us a thumbs up, LD. Let us know you're okay.
I hope y'all can hear this.
I can hear it.
Oh, I know we can hear it. I hope I set it up right so y'all can hear it on the stream. Oh, those are fun times. Hopefully Thomas is right about this bet and we get a good excuse to do a virtual pub stream.
Oh, you're changing your tune a little there. Wow, you want to lose the bet.
I mean, it's so fun. And if we can get LDG and Michael over here for a virtual pub, it would be tons of fun. Even better if we can arrange it on a week where something really nerdy has happened. I don't keep up with stuff anymore, so I don't know what's super nerdy out there these days.
Yeah, I really don't either, to be honest.
Josh is
to know
claiming.
If we can just tell you already.
No spoilers.
No, okay.
He's also claiming he can't hear you, but
Of course he can't.
I doubt that.
I think other people would say that they can't hear me also.
You'd think so.
No sound for Jeff.
Yeah. Do it for Christmas.
Do it for Christmas. Well, you are in a Christmas mood. I mean,
I am.
You keep wearing this Merry Christmas.
It's so comfy,
Sure.
and it really annoys someone, and so it's like a double worthwhile reason to wear it.
Omni says that they can hear me, but my picture shifted to the right.
It is. I'm trying not to be bothered by that, but I'm extremely bothered by that. Yes. I wonder, dare I try to fix this on the fly? He dares. Let me do it. So how's your week been going?
Oh, so far so good, although I am a little jealous of Anna. I love you, Anna. She went to watch Back to the Future at the theater tonight.
Ooh. That's pretty cool.
So I'm a little jealous because I'd love to see them. I was going to go on Sunday, but didn't make it. Thomas says, just move my chair to my right. Okay.
Let's see.
Is that better?
Maybe a little?
I'm off center. I don't like it.
Let's see. I'm trying to... Oh, what have I done? What have I done?
Oh, no. You shouldn't have touched it.
Now you're just
my
going
other
all
right
over
says
the place.
Josh. I can't see it. All I see... I got to see the YouTube.
You'll have to go back a little bit. It was a thing.
It was a thing, was it?
It was a thing. I have no idea why it just went. So, oh yeah, I'm sorry. The donation, it said, it's Adora tipped $1. Says, has anyone seen my red gym? Which that might not make sense to you if you're not hanging out in the Discord, which you should. Fun place. But yes, I was calling Adira Adora. And I noticed that the gem, the little pendant that Londo gives to, I'm going to say Adora now, sorry everyone, that he gives to Adora, I thought that he started to wear that. Like I know Londo always wears this triangular shaped pendant, but I thought after Adora died, he swapped out the pendant for the curved one. And I thought that was going to be a great way of doing visual storytelling to show that the death of Adora was just hanging over Londo at all times. And it would have been so good. But I was so wrong. And once Omni said, "Hey, look a little bit closer, Matt," that's when I saw, oh wait, you're right. It's still the triangle shaped pendant. I don't know. Maybe we'll see the arc shaped one. It'd be good. It'd be good. Yeah, Joel, Adora, as in adorable. So, in the Discworld series, you know how someone can be adorable? I thought they were doing a play on words. Adora. She's adored, Adora. But no, it's Adira.
Oh, I get that.
But no, in the Discworld series of novels, one of the characters you meet later on in the series is a girl whose name is Adora Bell, because the dad thought he was hilarious. And I kept making that same connection with Adira in Babylon 5, yes. And yes, Omni, Adora, Adira, Bester, Buster, Tomato, Tomato. Pants or socks. It's all the same thing. What's the question Garibaldi asks Sinclair?
Oh, he's asking about if he puts a sock on and a shoe, and a sock and a shoe, or does he put both socks on and then both shoes on? And
then he asks about fasten and zip, right? Like when you
zip, yeah.
Yeah, when you're doing your button for your pants, do you zip and fashion?
Do you button? Yeah, exactly.
So it's all the same thing. But obviously it's zip and fasten. I'm not sure how this is even a question. No, wait. Yeah.
Fasten and zip. Definitely.
I'll have to pay attention next time.
Oh, you just do it. It's like...
It's muscle memory, yeah.
It's muscle memory. You just go through the motions. You just do it.
I think it's fasten and zip, because that's why you always got XYZ, you know?
Okay.
Wow, XYZ means check your zipper. Your fly's on the move, the barn door's open.
I've never heard XYZ, check your zipper. Okay, that's a new one.
Oh, it's an old one, but I accept it's new for you.
It's a new one to me.
I want to say, like, most zippers are the XYZ brand. Like, if you ever look at the little letters on your zipper, I'm pretty sure they're XYZ.
I never noticed.
You'll have to look. Yeah, examine your zipper, Trevor Lauren. Yeah.
Okay.
And
gotcha.
I swear.
That's brand new to me. Learn something every day, hopefully.
XYZ. Yeah, XYZ zipper company. They're like the number one.
Okay.
There are so many people checking their zippers right now, I'm sure, as they're watching this. Like, oh, at least 14 people right now are like, is that XYZ minus? I hadn't seen that one before, Omni. And Trek Reviewer, hi, how you doing? Is the major thing actually that happened? Something that happened? Like, I've seen the YouTube clips of the whatever movie or story that came from, where some guy, they're in the army and they're like, I'm looking for a major. And he's like, that's me, sir. My last name's Major. My first name Major. But I'm just like a lieutenant or something, or private. And they're like, oh, well, we're the Army. We can't admit that we got this wrong. Congratulations. You've just been promoted to Major. You're now Major. And like he keeps getting promoted in this fashion.
Josh says, leaving with 10 kids, coming back with 8 kids. I came back with the same number of kids. Matthew, 2025.
I may have said something close to those words, and they would have been true for all effective purposes.
Okay, that's the new math, I guess.
Well, it's a Common Core math.
Common Core, okay.
And were they the same kids? No.
I shudder for the future.
No, different kids. It's the way I roll. But I made sure all the kids that came with me were accounted for before I left. Okay. Because I am responsible-ish.
Ish.
With these kiddos. Yeah, so on Sundays, I do the announcements for the Sunday school, the youth group at my church. Because our youth pastor, he's been over the entire youth ministry. So not just the high school and middle school kids, but nursery through everything. And so I've been doing the announcements for him. And I was mentioning, hey, I'm going to need some help for our member meeting. Y'all can come and help me. And they're like, oh, are you in charge of the member meeting, Matt? I'm like, no, I cannot be reliable in front of a group of high school and middle schoolers. I don't think they want me trying to be reliable in front of adults. I'm sure I do fine, but I don't think if they ever watch this, they're like, yeah, let's not put Matt in charge of sound or in charge of remembering names.
Or positions of images.
Yeah. Which they actually do have me do that one, but
Oh, okay. No comment.
Yep. But hey, we got a show to watch.
We do.
We're coming up fast on the end of this season. And
this is penultimate episode of the season.
It is, and I'm really looking forward to next week. It's a season finale, so it's going to be just top tier. They're going to pull out the stops. But 2, I've been catching back up on the episodes that I hadn't rewatched yet. And one of them was the 2-parter episode, the second part of the 2-parter. Okay.
War Without End.
Yeah. And I did not notice that once Dolores had really accepted the truth that, you always told me you were bouncing through time, but I never really believed you until this moment. Once she believed him and he was about to go back to the past, her urgent words were, do not go to Zahadum. Whatever you do not go to Zahadum.
Yes, she said that.
And it's interesting she said that right after she said there's nothing that could be done to make things better short of surrendering to the shadow spider people. And so that she's going to be telling truthful things. She's going to be reliable. Like, in her mind, she's going to be giving him the most accurate information. So at least as far as she's concerned, these are 2 equally true statements that he, no matter what, should not go to Zahadum. And the situation cannot be improved in any manner except by surrendering to the shadow, which you absolutely must not do. So I'm really looking forward to see how these things mesh together.
And as Omni pointed out, Kosh did say to Sheridan, if he goes to Zahadum, he will die.
It's true. But he also clearly did go to Zahadum. At least in the timeline we saw that led up to the War Without End. At least it's heavily implied he did, I should say. The way she was treating him.
If Dolores warned him not to go,
yeah,
did not go to Zahadum.
It seems to be precisely because he went there the first time, and that really set off a bad chain of events that led them to where they are now.
Or is that every time, not just the first time?
I wonder. I mean, now to be fair, it could be a closed loop timeline thing where she remembers the reason he didn't go to Zahadum is because he kept telling her, oh yeah, I went to the future and you told me so emphatically I shouldn't go. And so now that she finally believes him, she's like, oh wait, I need to tell him this because this is the thing that keeps him from going. Like a self-fulfilling prophecy sort of thing. I think that'd be interesting, but I think it's more likely that he did go there and it made the war go a lot worse. And so she's begging him not to go there because she thinks that by him not going there, we will get a better outcome of events. Yeah, now I'm overthinking it. It's what I do. Later, Mercer.
Enjoy Back to the Future. I may still go to the theater to see it. I just looked. It's still playing here, at least through next Monday.
Now, is it on one of the special screens, or is it just like in a theater?
It's nationwide. It's a nationwide release for the 40th anniversary?
No, I mean, like, are they doing it on any special screens, like IMAX or?
Yeah, they are. It is on IMAX. Omni says he watched it at IMAX.
Okay, so do you think the IMAX experience was worth it? Like, were they able to do anything with the original film to make use of the IMAX experience, or is it just?
I can't imagine that film on IMAX. I mean, they didn't film it for IMAX.
Yeah.
So, just what would be special about it? I'm not sure. He said it did fill the whole screen. And sound was nice. Now, here we don't have IMAX, so I couldn't see it on IMAX unless I drove for 4 hours probably to Dallas, Fort Worth area. Or maybe San Antonio might have it. That's a little closer.
I mean, it is tempting to take the kiddos. Aiden and Owen both love Back to the Future. So that might be something we do this weekend. That'd be cool.
Mercer says he heard that the IMAX colors were a little brighter, which is not always good. Like Jennifer's pink jacket, you couldn't see the details. No problem on the caps, Mercer.
Oh, that's pretty cool, Texas. He's saying that he remembers for the 30th anniversary, American Airlines did a promo where the DeLorean was flying alongside one of their planes in 1985 and 2015.
Yeah, Josh, Austin is like 3.5 hours from here, and Houston's more like 6 or 6.5.
Oof.
I don't know if I want to drive that far.
Does Abilene not have an IMAX in it? I guess it's not quite that big.
I don't think so.
Maybe Sweetwater? Maybe Sweetwater has an IMAX.
Possibly. I don't know. Oh, and he's looking it up.
I am. Things that I easily get distracted by.
I would just be happy to see it on a regular screen. Omni says IMAX isn't really IMAX anyway.
How's that?
Yeah, Thomas. Yeah, Thomas. We all know you can drive across Texas in 2 hours. Yeah, we do know that, don't we? We heard that on a live stream.
Where?
It has to be true, right? You heard it on YouTube. It has to be true.
Were they being silly or?
I don't think they were quite with it. I think they were under the influence of spirits of the liquid kind.
Oh, Omni's saying that real IMAX screens are rare 70 millimeter format film screens. We might have one of those in the Dallas area.
Mercer, I'm in San Angelo, Texas.
Let's see. There's one. It might not. Maybe it's a 35 mil. No, So I have a coworker who is a movie theater buff. Like he took a 2-day trip, like an overnight sort of thing, to New York to catch a showing of a movie on a very special screen. And he would know all about this, but he's talked about some sort of special film standard here in the Texas area. So I'm saying every science center used to have Omnimax. Are you talking like the big dome thing, and you'd be sitting in the chair looking up, and you got all the stars and stuff happening?
I actually saw The Force Awakens on a screen like that.
Ooh.
It was
That's
fun.
cool.
It was a little different.
Yeah, Texas, I have seen those European YouTubers who say they're going to come visit friends in the U.S. and then they laugh when they say they're going to drive across the country. I've seen also videos of people who think they can just walk across major cities, and then they find out that once you're in like the heart of the downtown area, you can't just walk across. Like you're going to hit fences and you're going to have stretches of highway without any sort of sidewalk on it.
That's the plan, Mercer. I was going to actually go to Tinseltown, the local theater.
I think I've been to the NASA museum where they had their IMAX screen. I don't remember if we got to watch something down in the Houston area, but I remember going there. And I remember it being one of the things you could do while there.
Yes, Mercer. Damn, where's that kid?
I don't get the quote.
It's Back to the Future. The clock tower scene right at the start of it. Doc's waiting for Marty to come back from the dance, and he's going, "Damn, where's that kid?"
Is that in the second one?
Damn. Damn. And then Marty pulls up. No, it's in the first one.
Just at the very end of it? Okay.
At the clock tower scene where he's waiting for Marty to come to go back to the future.
I don't remember the swearing.
I love that scene. It's one of the best film scenes in all of cinema, in my opinion.
They did a really good job with the ending. They did a good job with the whole movie. There's a reason my kids love it. I watched
Thomas
the
says you
non-swearing
watched
version.
the non-swearing version, yeah.
I wish. No, I don't know if you ever saw this. There's a device called the TV Guardian back in the day, and
I've heard of
it would filter out swear words, and they made a DVD version of it where it just read the subtitle track, and whenever it read a subtitle, it would just do a 1-to-1 replacement of it. And I'm really sad that they don't have any sort of plugin like that for VLC or the major streaming stuff, the Plex or Jellyfin. Whenever anyone asks about that, everyone's like, "Oh, how could you possibly ruin the creator's intended vision of it? Like, if you why don't you just raise your kids better if you're worried about them seeing swear words or hearing swear words?" It's like that's what we're doing though. Like, anyone, like, if you don't care about it, you don't care about it, fine. But if someone does care about it and they're trying to not expose their kids to it, like, why do you care? But they do, it gets people really mad.
Mercer just pointed out something that I did know. Did you know that the original scene where Marty goes back to the future was not in the town? It was not with the clock tower.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was supposed to drive into a nuclear explosion, a nuclear test explosion.
I'm so glad they went with the clock tower.
They changed it. Yeah,
yeah,
it was better, way better. There's a documentary
absolutely
on the DVD Blu-ray about it. You might be able to find it on YouTube. I don't know.
And Josh
And it
is having a
gives
problem with the stream. Sorry, Josh.
The clock tower scene gave Doc a lot more to do than he would have in the nuclear explosion. Yes.
Yeah. And just the fact that they created a hard time limit, and they were able to really ramp up that time limit, or the tension in that scene, because, okay, you got it, and here's, like, you can physically see the clock moving, and yeah, they do the stupid movie thing where they're like, oh no, we have 3 seconds. 5 seconds later, we have 2 seconds. 1 minute later, we have 1 second. Okay,
Right,
yeah, they
right.
didn't get it perfect, but
It was close, so.
it was close. It's always one of those things where I wish they would just do an ADR afterwards, where the person is like, oh no, we only have, and then they like give the exact cut time to, like, okay, we've edited everything, and now we just have them say, this is the exact amount of time we have. It would be easy to do, but no one does it. But even still,
No.
they had the hard time limit, and that's already exciting, and they get it together, and then the tree branch falls, and, you know, Marty's fine. Like, it was so well done. And then,
Yeah.
I mean,
Great
Christopher
stuff.
Lloyd's reaction to all that was just so wonderful.
Yeah, they acted the hell out of that movie, that scene.
Yeah,
Very well done. And sorry about my cursing.
it's okay.
Thank you.
And time travel in Back to the Future is like the Force. You have to take it in broad strokes. You know, even still, I feel like the timeline stuff they did in Back to the Future holds up to a lot of scrutiny. Like, based on their own rules they create, like, it really works well.
But then they kind of go away from it in the sequels.
They do, but even with
Because
the
then
sequels,
they have branching timelines and stuff.
yeah, and they kind of overlap a little bit, but I feel like it largely works out. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to do a whiteboard. I'm sure someone already has done it, but it's more fun to do it yourself.
Well, Doc did his own whiteboard in the second film to
He did.
explain the branching. So,
But I'll have to do my own. We'll see if Doc is right. See if I can't prove him wrong.
that's a good question, Mercer. What happened to the Marty that grew up with confident parents?
So Mercer, that's actually, oh gosh, I think I talked about this years ago, but that's actually one of the things that, like, I think would have been the freakiest outcomes of the movie. That from the new timeline's perspective, all of a sudden they had a completely different child. Like, we don't know what happened. He used to be this way, and then he gets back from this trip, and he's talking about the car being damaged, and he's just a completely different person. We don't know what happened to him. It would have been terrifying for the parents. And just also, he was probably, like, everyone else was an upgraded version of themselves. Now that the parents are confident, you see the brother's more confident, the daughter's more confident, the husband and wife are more confident. And then you have Marty. He would have been the worst version of himself. The best version of himself disappeared.
Right?
I mean, unless you want to make the argument that he already was the best version of himself, and it's just the rest of the family was brought to his standards. I don't know.
Well, we did see Marty kind of screwed up in the future.
He was.
His job, he gets into that accident just after the third film would have happened.
That's true. And they kind of play up the no one calls me chicken. To do the 2 and 3 were really designed to be seen together.
Well, they were filmed together too. Texas asks, who do you think is the real hero of Back to the Future?
I do remember a question like this once.
I do too. And the answer I've heard is actually Biff.
Biff. Why Biff?
I don't remember why. Texas says Marty or George, but I've heard Biff.
So I guess what would you define as the characteristics to call someone the hero of a movie? Because I'm assuming by hero, we're not just talking about like the person who does good things. Are we talking about the main protagonist, the one who sets things into motion? Or are we actually talking about like the most worthy person, the one who causes good things to happen?
Well, if you look at Star Wars, at least the first 6 films, Darth Vader would be considered the hero.
Sure, if you want to talk about the main driving force, well, main driving force, I might say, is Palpatine.
True. Mercer says the hero of Back to the Future is Peabody.
But where's Sherman?
Question. Tommy says Palpatine is the hero.
But see, and that's why I'm saying, like, my definition of like the main driving force, clearly that's not a good definition for what is the hero of a movie. Because then you might say the Maltese Falcon was the hero of a movie, or the suitcase from Pulp Fiction was the hero of the movie.
So Texas had some clarification. He asked, because the only one who changed by the end is George. Marty is the one who kicks things off, but he's basically the same person he was at the beginning. In the next 2, he starts to develop.
Okay, so hero may be in the definition of a person who sees the most growth?
Possibly. Welcome, Hoot Owl.
Hey, Hoot.
We're getting there. We're getting there. We were almost there. We were almost there. And then we diverged, got into one of those rabbit trails.
So if we want to talk about like who changed the most, Doc Brown is a strong contender for that. That he like, especially if you look over the course of all 3 movies, Doc Brown is the one who really sees the most growth in who he is.
I argue with that too much. I think Marty has a lot of growth.
He certainly does, especially 2 and 3, where he gets over the chicken thing, and he's able to see that he can have confidence in himself without needing the endorsement of others.
Mayor Goldie Wilson. He did change a lot. He went from working in a diner to being mayor of Hill Valley.
It's true. And even if you look at the first one, he goes from, like, oh, you can never know anything about the future. Change the timeline. It risks too much, to like, okay, because of my interactions with you, I'm able to see that such a hardline stance might not be the best thing. Maybe a little bit of flexibility is what's required here. But George McFly, I would have to argue, sees the most growth.
The first film, yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. Though I would certainly say that Marty would still be what I would describe as the hero of the film, because he's the driving force. He's the one causing things to happen. He's the one getting George to grow and develop. Like, without him, there is no change in George.
Yeah, that's a good point. Oh, by the way.
Yeah.
If you recall, last Tuesday, I asked you a question about, have you ever tried to fix some software without having the hardware to run it on?
Ooh, how'd that go?
I conquered the Mac.
Hey.
I got it to work without having a Mac. So there you go.
Nicely done.
Thank you. Once I figured out what the problem was, then I could solve it, because I was misunderstanding the problem.
Oh, okay. Well, good.
But I didn't have the hardware to run it on, so it was
Yeah.
to get to
how do you
that
know?
point to figure out exactly what was happening. Control Apple Reset works every time, says Omni.
Oh, and Trucker Reviewer is saying that maybe the less competent Marty was transported to the OG timeline, just like in Parallels of TNG when Worf would switch spots with his counterparts. So I guess in my viewing of it, I know the Doc did all his branching timeline stuff, but I see it as just Marty or whoever is traveling in time overwrote themselves in that timeline.
That's how I saw it.
But then you also have Back to the Future 2, where there were two Marty McFlys side by side. Two Doc Browns. So
True. 1955.
That's a good question. I guess I should say you're always progressing along your own timeline. You can go back and cross over again, but at some point you catch up with yourself and you exist from that moment on.
Well, we saw the consequences of Rose doing that with the Ninth Doctor.
It's true.
It's not pretty.
I like that. I like that season a lot.
Oh, I do too. I adore season 1, series 1.
Yeah.
And series 4 with Donna.
I do kind of wish we had one more season with Eccleston.
I do too. He was great.
He was, and I get it. He really had some beef, apparently, with some of the people there.
Yeah, he did. He did it with the production staff.
Yeah, and he's made no qualms about it either. Like he doesn't keep the secret. He's like, what would it take for me to come back to Doctor Who? You have to fire like 4 people.
Yeah. We're losing Thomas. He's going to go watch Section 31.
Ooh,
whatever.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Are you talking about the Deep Space Nine episodes or the Enterprise episode with Section 31, Thomas?
I think he's talking about the movie.
Oh, there was a movie?
There
was a movie?
They called it a movie.
Okay. I must have
It was the worst timeline movie. There's a timeline out there where Section 31 was everything it should have been. We're not in that timeline. Hopefully you can go back in time and fix this for us.
I'll see what I can do.
So how about we get back on track? We're going to be looking at, what episode is it today?
21 of season 3. Shadow
dancing. Ooh, I had some predictions about this. Do you recall what they were?
Yeah. You said this would be a play on words. You had the concept of shadow boxing, where you pantomime the motions. You don't hit anything, you just practice the motions. You're shadow dancing. On the other hand, you actually have the actual shadows. So they're going to be going through the motions of fighting the shadows. In the prior episode, what happened to be randomness was really the shadows avoiding a specific area to corral people into space that they would think is safe. Then the shadows would attack them and wipe out a major opposition. So the crew will be trying to get everyone to understand the shadows' plan, and will try to get everyone to move against them. They won't make it obvious that they are moving their troops or their forces, but they're doing just that in secret. So they will be going through the motions and will not make it obvious that they have figured out the shadows' plans, but they will try to shadow dance with the enemy to maneuver the shadows and where they want them, and hope that the shadows won't maneuver them into where the shadows want them. Also, there's going to be a strong reason for Sheridan to go to Zahadum in the following episode. He was warned if he goes there, he will see his doom. He will die. So by the end of the episode, the framework will be in place to force Sheridan to go to Zahadum. Of course, the White Star will be outmatched and gets badly damaged. In Season 5, the Technomages will come back and upgrade it. And because Londo has 3 chances to avoid his fate, he will squander the first 2. The third one is where he will redeem himself. And is Morgana Le Fay, Lita Alexander, or Buster?
Ooh. We'll see. We might even see by the end of this season. I know
Perhaps.
JMS, he's pretty good about putting something out there and then answering it. And then bringing up 5 other questions to replace it.
He doesn't string people along. He answers things and brings up new things. Very good at that.
He is. Now, you know what would be a really good modus impetus for getting him to Zahadum? If Dolores got kidnapped to Zahadum.
Ooh. Yeah, that would be a good motive.
It would be. And then that would make her plea with him to not go there even more poignant, because she's like, look, you going there saved my life, but don't do it. Don't do it. We need you not to go.
Is this a further prediction?
It's not. It's just a thought. We'll see what happens by the end of this episode.
Sounds good.
But I was just thinking, hey, that'd be a good reason to go.
I'll say I watched this episode yesterday, and I got emotional by the end of it.
Yeah.
It's a good episode.
Well, let's watch it and find out. So let me give you the quick rundown in case this is your first time. In case it is, hello, welcome. What we do each week is hi. What we do each week is I forget to put in the link to the streaming room. So let me pin that real quick. But the idea here is that you can come to the streaming room during the stream right now, and we'll sync up all of our watch times so that what I'm talking about, assuming I didn't get distracted again, is what's going on right there. I am providing live commentary. Jeff and I, we talk about this, and it's the first time I've ever seen this. So this is, I give my predictions beforehand, and we find out how incredibly 100% right I am, usually in a different timeline, not this one, but still I'm right somewhere. And, that's how we do this. So if you're looking just for a stream where you could watch this without any commentary at all, I'm sorry, that's not what this is. But I got good news for you. You can go and watch it right now for free. Just stream it. You can go to Tubi TV, and you can go to Roku. Yeah, and Roku.
That's right. The Roku channel.
And both of them will stream it. With Tubi TV, you don't even have to sign up for an account. I'm not sponsored by anyone. I would gladly sell out in a heartbeat if I could get sponsored by someone, but I'm not. I'm just telling you this so that however you want to watch it, go watch it, have fun, because I've certainly been enjoying this, and I want to encourage other people to share in the joy that we are getting to enjoy as we go through it. If you're here in the future, you will have to go to Tubi, you'll have to go to Roku. If you have Amazon Prime, you can watch it on Amazon, and that's the upgraded version on Amazon even. And this is always the best way I personally recommend doing it, you can go out and buy the physical media. Yeah, right there. Amazon usually has it for like $70 for all 5 seasons. Skip out on some streaming service. You don't need all the streaming services. Go get the physical media instead. Save money.
As of today, November the 4th, 2025, it's $66.95 on Amazon. Ooh. Plus tax, of course, and any shipping you may apply.
And I feel like consistently that's what the price is. Like even when we get to Black Friday, I don't know, maybe it drops a teensy tiny bit. But I feel like consistently it's been at the $60 to $70 price range. So save up, put it on your Christmas list, put it on your birthday list, get the physical media. And hey, if you want something really great, I've started recently recommending this. Buy the DVDs. Buy the old DVDs of it. Because then you get all the commentary. And you can do all the streaming stuff for the high quality video upgrade stuff they did. And then you can have the DVDs for the commentary. So, I'm just saying, it's out there. Omni's saying, enjoy the disc rot. That's why you make backups. Software called Handbrake. That may get this video in trouble, but it's out there. You are legally in the United States allowed to make backups of your physical media. You're not allowed to share them, but you are allowed to back them up for the specific purpose of things like disk rot and those disks getting damaged. So, hey, I'm just throwing that out there. I think it's a great option.
Also, I want to point out first episode of season 4.
Ooh, yeah.
On Amazon Prime. It's missing the first scene in the episode. It is available. The first scene is available on Tubi TV. I'm pretty sure it's also on Roku. It's also available on the physical media. So season 4, episode 1, first scene is missing on Amazon.
And that's
Apple has it. Apple has the first scene.
Is Apple also the upgraded version? Or is
yes,
this
it is. They're practically all the upgraded version now.
Interesting.
Roku, Tubi TV, Amazon. Apple,
I'm willing to bet
Google.
the version on Google is missing it. Because I ran into this problem.
It has it. Maybe
I ran
not.
into this problem on another episode. There's an episode in season 1, I want to say, where they were missing the last scene or a scene in the middle or something. It was like a 2-minute gap. And I bought the version off YouTube, which is Google, and it didn't have it either. And so I remember I had to jump through a couple different hoops to finally get it, but I finally was able to get a copy in time to stream for it. So we're going to do the same thing. We'll get things worked out so that when we do the stream for season 1, episode 4, or season 4, episode 1, we'll have you covered.
That first scene is kind of important, so I'm surprised they missed it.
Yeah, feed them to the Zarg.
Feed them the Zarg. Right? Although, isn't it dead?
A whole new meaning to the eat the rich there, I think. Being a little too literal. So let's go ahead and do this. Oh, and of course, as always, if you're on your phone or something, you can't bring up a second device to watch this, we got you covered. Once every 7 to 10 seconds, there's a still image photo right below here, and that'll just show you the screenshot in that second. So hopefully you have some sort of visual little slideshow going along. You can keep up with us. Because if you're watching this, I'm willing to bet you've seen this before. You probably know this series forward and backwards, and you're just squirming in your seat about how right I am in my wrongness and how wrong I am in my rightness. And you're just like, I can't wait for Matthew to get to this episode so he can finally figure this all out. So we got you covered. So I'm going to give you a quick 3 countdown so that if you are syncing up your own physical media, you can jump in at about the same time I kick this off. So let's go ahead and get this going. 3, 2, 1. Hit that play button, everyone. And the Z minus 7 days. I do
closer.
I do like that they are keeping in track with the actual production release schedule.
Council chambers. We haven't seen that in a while.
And the thing that they're talking about right now, the fact they have an opportunity to strike at the shadows. And this is what they came up with last week, I want to say, where they realized that there was a hole in the attack patterns of the shadow spiders. And they're doing it because they're trying to funnel people into what they presumed was a safe area was, just so that they could do a major attack on them and wipe them out. So they're saying, let's pretend to fall for the trap so that we can in turn trap them back. And so one of them was just saying, why should we trust you when you don't trust us? But she's pointing out that she has shown them a great deal of trust. That she told them about the weakness of the shadow spiders to telepaths, something else we found out recently. An ood? Nice try, truck reviewer, but I don't think it works like that. So, they raise an interesting point. They're saying, look, let's say we're persuaded by you. If we send our ships then we're not going to have anything to protect our own homeworld. What's to prevent them just from coming to our homeworlds and wiping it out? And I mean, she doesn't entirely answer their question. But, you know, she makes a compelling argument. Now, Omni, if the other white stars are damaged, it doesn't count. It can only be the one official white star. And so he's talking about the dilemma they have. They've discovered the plot of the shadow spiders to actually attack this place at some point, but they don't know when that attack will happen. It could be today, it could be 10 days from now, it could be a year from now. They don't know. And as Aragorn points out, or Strider points out, that if they wait for news of the attack, it will already be too late to respond to that attack. How are they supposed to effectively plan a counterattack to an attack that they don't know when is going to be attacked? And as Sheridan is saying, they could come out all at once, they could come out in small groups. But either way, the moment you see them, call for the fleet. Now, Omni, are they all called White Star? Like, I thought that was a special title for this ship.
It's the White Star Fleet, and they are all called White Stars. Okay. And Omni says that they are numbered. We haven't seen that yet, but they are numbered.
Fine. I was calling them Black Stars, but we'll stick with White Stars.
Now, some people complain about Strider because he seemed to have healed very quickly from the fight that he had a few episodes ago. But that was a few weeks ago, and the medicine has improved in the last 200 years. So JMS rationalized that, yeah, he would have healed by now.
That works. And yeah, I know Sheridan took out the Black Star, but I had forgotten that when I said it last week. And it has, let's see, was it 2 weeks ago or was it just last week when he had his fight?
It was a couple of weeks ago.
Let's see.
Last week was the episode with Jakar and Londo and Lord Reefer.
Yes.
And the rock cried out, no hiding place.
Excellent.
Reefer.
The actor who plays Jakar is one of the best actors in this series.
Oh, he's phenomenal.
And I wouldn't say there's any subpar actor as part of the regular cast. But even among the actors, yeah, Andreas, he sticks out above the rest.
I agree.
Let's see, was it Grey 17 is Missing? Is that when they had their fight? Because that's when Garibaldi was, yes. So it was,
yeah.
Yeah, it was exactly 2 weeks ago. So 14 days.
Uh-oh.
And this is the one who was raising the objection, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. The Drazi.
And he says all the other nations have gone, or all the other representatives have gone to talk to their home planets, and they left me here to relay the news. You'll have all the ships you need. So help you if you're wrong.
Well, as many as they can offer is basically what he said.
Okay. Important difference. You're right.
Well, some of the visuals in this episode are just phenomenal. That shot of the White Star flying off, I thought was just beautiful.
And Ivanova gives an Egyptian blessing.
We've heard that before in a season 2 episode.
Hey, it's Zach.
Yeah, it's Zach.
Like, if I had to pick an actor that was probably the least refined, it would be Zach, I think. And he's by no means a bad actor. I'm just saying, like, of everyone else, he's the one that, I don't know, just not quite at the level as everyone else.
And we haven't seen a lot of him lately.
It's true. Maybe it's just that I haven't been able to see enough of his acting abilities.
Now, this is a good scene between the two of them.
So Garibaldi is filled with self-doubt about how he handled the situation with Dr. Franklin. And he's talking about how specifically he's been where Garibaldi has been. Or he is Garibaldi. He's been where Franklin has been. And he's wondering, like, you know, maybe what Franklin was looking for was someone who would travel into hell with him, and I went the wrong way. And no one knows where he is right now. And that was one of the things last week or 2 weeks ago, where he said, fine, I'll give you the information you need, but you will leave me alone. No one else comes looking for me. And he was
going railroad information.
Oh yeah. And he was going through a particularly bad phase of the bins coming off of withdrawals, yeah. And so I think that's a grandma, her son, and her grandchild, maybe. She's certainly treating him like a son and not like a husband. But that might just be who she is. But they're in the down below.
I definitely think that's who she is.
And in the down below, there's Franklin. But we also got an interesting piece of dialogue that she trusts the current president. And she's buying into the propaganda that they have.
I agree with Texas. I think that was supposed to be her husband.
It's just the way she responded to him. Like, I told you not to contradict me in front of the girl.
In fact, he was credited as just husband in the credits. So, no name.
A space Karen, yeah. So, he's, quite flirtatious in a different language.
Hmm.
So he says, okay, he's smooth. Good old Strider.
Isn't he?
So they're talking about how, as part of the Ranger training program, you learn the Minbari language. And he says that I could teach you, and she tries to brush it off like, oh, I just don't have time. And he points out that, you know, it's always a choice. and he says to her in
Listen
Bari,
to this.
less smooth. So in Mbari, he says, "You're the most beautiful woman I've ever met." And she goes, "Well, what does that mean?" He goes, "Oh, it's just a greeting. It's something about how he's unable to express the feelings of his heart." And then Ivanova mentions that she really would love a view of the garden, and he goes, "Oh, I love gardens too, and big 4-post beds." And she gives him this look.
Well, she mentioned that too. She'd want to live in a place that has the bed and the view of the garden. And
then, funny little moment there. She can't sleep sitting up the way the Centauri, or the way Minbari do. And so she tries to lay it down flat, and it just keeps clicking until she slides off head first to ground and just gives an exasperated sigh. Yeah, Zathras, fix this bunk.
Yes, Thomas. Matthew can listen.
I do listen.
You usually get about 80%.
I listen with this ear, and I speak here. And I listen to Jeff with this one. Yeah, I only listen to the scenes I don't want you to listen to me to. And so it sounds like she's explaining kind of the...
Listen to this.
Yeah, I'm sure that's 100% how that sentence was going to end. But it sounds like she's describing a marriage proposal ceremony with Inbari. And she talks about how they do this 3-day ceremony thing where she looks at him and observes him, because they believe that after 3 days you see their true face. And
but while he sleeps.
And he says, well, and if she likes what she sees, she'll say another 2 days to observe. And he says, well, what if she doesn't like what she sees? Well, then she leaves him. He goes, what if he, insists that she stay? She's like, well, then she'll stay, but she'll leave in the middle of the night, and she can take a complaint to the High Council and cut off his access to her family.
Uh-oh.
So Franklin tries to get involved and gets stabbed for his efforts.
They cut 7 seconds of this when it aired in the UK.
I wonder which version I have.
You have the full version. Yeah, because of the excessive violence of the scene, Omni. That's why they cut it.
And so Franklin, he's asking, help me. And the guy says, sorry, I can't, and runs off. And so Franklin decides to take up some, looks to be finger painting. Oh, okay. So yeah, he had jumped down into this area. That's the big problem. That we did see him come to this area. He threw his rucksack down. Then he jumped down himself. Then he came across this scene. So he's been injured too much to climb back out of this area. So she's taking like the pillows to make a bed of sorts.
She's trying to get to lay down. She has to get up.
So there appears to be a scout ship. And so he's saying he spotted it. He's saying he spotted it just before they left the shadow of the moon. And she said, well, good. If you powered up the engines, you'd be spotted. And he goes, yeah, but here's the problem. We're about to leave the shadow. And as soon as the light hits us, and then sure enough, they get hit. They get lit up. Did I say a Star Trek scout?
No. Thomas is trying to convince us he likes new Star Trek.
Oh. It's going to take a lot of convincing, Thomas.
I'm not buying it, Thomas.
One thing I do like about the way they do the Shadow Spiders ships is they describe it as being an organic ship, like the Vorlons, to be honest. But it seems it's hard to see it in the way they do the graphics, but whenever you have the main ship and it sends out the smaller ships, you see the main ship shrinking in size. And the problem is, without something that has a strong frame of reference, it looks more like the camera's just pulling back from it than it's actually shrinking.
Yeah.
But it is supposed to be shrink in size. And so he comments that this ship is the same material that the Shadow Spider ships are made out of, just much smaller in size. And Franklin's calling out, somebody please help. Yeah, Riker, anybody!
Oh?
Oh, he met himself.
He's met himself. That's what he was trying to do, meet himself.
Oh, they didn't need to explain it for us. Wait, we're smart enough. We got it. He said, well, you said you had to walk until you meet yourself. Well, here I am. Like, we got it, JMS. We got it. And yeah, Thomas, Franklin's having a mental breakdown, which is fair. You know, a lot of blood loss happening.
Makes sense.
Yeah, even with the people who missed that week, I think he's mentioned it the past 2, if not 3 weeks.
Ooh, look at that.
That's a solid hit. Is the White Star about to be severely damaged?
Hmm.
Yeah, the Shadow Spider ship went to ramming speed, and then here come all the ships.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's the appropriate response that Mbari just gave. So he's saying if they send the signal, then the shadow spiders are going to see them. The jump drives are offline, or there's a chance they might see them. And if they pick up their signal, then we won't survive until for the reinforcements to come. And Ivanova says, "Well, who wants to live forever?" And he goes, "I do." Tex is saying it's been 3 episodes since we heard the Walkabout story. Has it? So let's think. So Walkabout, we definitely heard it talked about. I want to say in Gray 17 is Missing. That's the episode where he gave the ultimatum that I'll give you the Underground Railroad information, but you have to leave me alone.
Yeah.
And so they mentioned that one. So it's been 2 weeks. But that means there's been 2 to 3 episodes where they've mentioned that he's doing this walkabout. Maybe just 2. Yeah, go, Amiga, go.
Right? They did phenomenal in this episode with the CGI.
And so he's talking in the uniform version of him. Dr. Franklin is talking about how he's always run away from situations, that he's used work to avoid his personal life. And he's saying, we just take responsibility of your actions and don't just walk away because it's easier. He's a little harsh with himself. He goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. You're too busy dying."
Well, he's not wrong.
Meanwhile, Steven is dying.
Uh-oh.
And at least one of them heard. But here comes another energy spike, and it's the White Star Fleet and friends.
And friends.
And I do like how the command center that Dolores and Sheridan are in have the 3 lights. Like the implication, I feel like, is even in this situation, it was designed where you would have one of each of the casts there, or at the very least a triad of people working to make decisions.
They do things in 3s.
Mm-hmm. So he's just laying out the strategy. You know, the telepaths are going to stop them. You're going to have ships providing interference so that the telepaths can't be hit. And then you got the big guns there to really bust up the fleet. And yeah, Thomas, his hair was a bit purple on that blue green screen, whatever they were using. And so Dr. Franklin, still tearing into himself, and he's saying, basically, no, you haven't used this life very much. And Steven's saying what he wants is to do it all over again. And we're not sure what he wants to do again, but he wants to do it again. I get the name right every once in a while, Thomas. And Dr. Franklin is saying, you know, I don't care how much it hurts. You don't go passing out on me because that's just another form of running away. And he's definitely doing his best CrossFit trainer impersonation. He's like, come on, you got one more. Get up. And then the White Star Prime, its engines turn on. I don't think it's a jump drive. It's just they're joining the fight. Can I repeat word for word on what the fake Franklin said? No. Like, even if I hadn't been talking and been paying 100% attention, I'd never get it word for word right. But I mean, the essence of it was, don't give up, don't quit, don't pass out. I feel like that's the second time they focused on that telepath. That one seems to be struggling a little bit.
That's a good call. Well, he climbed out.
I mean, that's half the battle. Now he just needs to get into an area where there might be someone else. I haven't seen much in the way of the shadow spiders being blown up. Although here we have a moment. Let's see. There we go. One down. So yeah, they really need the telepaths to kind of step up here. Wait, who's the UFO ship?
I forget which race that is.
Like, it was legit a UFO that shot torpedoes out of its underside.
The Vree. Texas says it's the Vree.
Okay. So he makes it to where people are. And he says, I want to do it again. Help me. Now we're just getting some music and voiceover lines. Or no voiceover, just music as people, move their mouths.
Yes, homie. It's how we like the shadows, in pieces.
And yeah, Josh, they won, but at what cost? Is this going to end up being a Pyrrhic victory?
I like how they show all those ships floating around, damaged.
And we've seen the Vree before. There was
we have
a court case. There was, the defendant or the prosecutor is alleging that you abducted his great grandfather or something like that. It's been a while since we've seen the courtroom.
Now, some people say there was a continuity issue here because they show Sheridan Ivanova around Franklin. But then here we see Sheridan asking about Franklin. Franklin was hallucinating that they were there.
I mean, that'd be my assumption. I am curious what their win-loss ratio was.
We'll get that answer here shortly.
And Garibaldi, great question as usual, says, here's the question. Now that we've proven we can hurt them, how long will it be until they come knocking on our front door?
Is that the answer?
Yeah, 4 days maybe.
Zoop minus 4 days, says Omni.
So I'll be curious to watch this again and see in the scene where he's hallucinating them what their uniforms look like. Because when he was hallucinating himself, his uniform was extremely pristine. So Garibaldi asks him how he's feeling, and Franklin responds like, I've got stabbed in the back. How am I supposed to feel? And yes, Joel, thank you. In that time, 4 weeks.
I hope not.
So Franklin is saying that he met himself like he intended to, but it turns out that he didn't like himself very much either. And Garibaldi is saying, look, I know you're going through stuff. You had to do this, but don't ever do this to me again. He goes, oh, you're concerned. He goes, no, I just lost 30 credits. So Franklin looks over and sees everyone suffering. And I think it would be... Ooh, what was that? I think it'd be very poetic for him to force himself to work at this point. Which, because you'd be like, well, isn't that him missing the point? But I think it'd be him realizing that he can push himself in a healthy way. That there's a difference between rising to meet the occasion because someone is in desperate need of you and just pushing yourself because you want people to need you. Maybe it's a Technomage ship. Maybe. I don't know.
Are they in league with the Shadows now?
Ooh. I mean, it definitely wasn't a Shadow Spider ship.
Oh, it launched from one.
It did.
Ooh.
Ooh. The flashback.
This important scene.
So he's remembering how Kosh sent him some visions. And he's saying, in the dream that Kosh sent me, you said, do you know who I am? And then a week later, I find out that you're a latent telepath. And he said, at one point I was wearing the uniform as Psychop. I remember that. And they correlate that to Bester coming onto their side. And Garibaldi says, the man in between is searching for you. Ivanova says, maybe Sinclair, but that doesn't feel right. Ooh, the hand. I forgot about that. And the you are the hand, that Ivanova was the one saying that. And so they're saying that maybe the man in between knows who you are. Oh, sign portents. So they're trying to get us to put these pieces together. So that right there could be the man in between.
Possibly.
And there we go. The good doctor is up. And he's just going over some technical jargon. Here's what to do. Oh, he's up in a fashion. Yes, Texas. He's in a wheelchair. And he's saying that I don't need to be able to stand to talk and advise and, generally make a pain out of myself. And the captain is saying that your job is waiting for you if you want it. Will you take it? And he said, I want it. And that now I think I can do better. That with the stems, what they let me do is do more, but I needed to do better. And he said, I've been running away the same as I've always done. I didn't want to face how I'd feel if you fired me, so I just quit. And that he's realizing that he always defined himself based on what he wasn't. Which, we'll talk about this, I think.
Are all we've got.
And he's saying that when I was at that moment of death, he realized that he didn't want to let it go. And it made him realize that he can appreciate what he has right now. And appreciate himself for who he is instead of what he's not. And Sheridan says, well, what are you? And he says, alive. The rest is negotiable.
A strange phrase to put over a comlink.
Yeah. She could have called him directly. And so Delenn sends a message to CNC saying that she awaits him at his pleasure. And that's the guy who stabbed the doctor. I think.
No, it isn't. It isn't
no?
him.
It looks like him. I'm sure you're all right. We all know me and faces. But I'm gonna have to screenshot that side by side. Thomas, cover my eyes. You gotta let me know when I can look again, Thomas. Wait, how can I?
She's just watching him sleep.
And people are reacting to this guy. They don't seem to really like him being there.
Now, what's interesting is JMS did not write it that way. In fact, they were not supposed to take notice, but the director filmed it the other way.
Oh. And so Zach is telling Ivanova that someone's come on board. And he says, yeah, but this is major. It concerns the captain. Who could it be? Someone who stands between? I don't know if I could fall asleep with someone watching me like this.
Well, Picard couldn't.
Was that the girl who imprinted on him to be the perfect wife?
No, this is when they were on the Klingon ship.
Oh. I do remember the scene
that?
from War Without End.
Yeah. We didn't see who it was, or that she is his wife.
She also looks like that girl who in season 1 she was sitting at a computer console talking about Section 13.
No,
I know it's not the same girl, but she looks like her to me.
Do you recognize the actress?
No.
That's Melissa Gilbert, who played Laura Ingalls Wilder on Little House on the Prairie. And she is actually, Melissa Gilbert is the real wife of Bruce Boxleitner, who plays Sheridan, of course.
Yeah, she might have something to say about Dolores kissing him last week.
Maybe.
Yeah, Thomas, that's a stupid question. No.
Yeah, I know. You're right, Thomas.
My wife will be thrilled with this random tidbit. She really likes Little House on the Prairie.
Now, they did have a video played of Sheridan's wife in season 2, but it was a different actress, and they couldn't get the same actress back because of scheduling conflicts. So they asked Bruce Boxleitner, "Hey, would Anna like to play this role for us?" Would Melissa like to play this role for us as Anna Sheridan?
That's pretty cool. And wait, what? Did she really play Ishara Yar? Or are you pulling my leg, Omni?
No, that was not Ishara.
Because Ishara was played by Denise Crosby, wasn't she?
No, it was a different actress, but
Denise played two Yar characters.
The first Anna that was in the video recording that we saw in season 2. She was the one that played Ishara Yar. Omni's right about that. I thought you were talking about Melissa. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The video Anna says Hudao. Yes, indeed.
Gotcha.
That was the same actress as that played Ishara. I can't remember her name, but
who did Denise play? It was Tasha's daughter, but it was like what was her name? The second Yar character. And everyone's like, "Oh no, wow, it's you!" And it was because of those timey-wimey shenanigans from the Enterprise.
You would have to ask me that.
Sela.
Yeah,
Sela. That's what everyone's saying in chat.
Yeah, thank you, Positive Omni.
Okay.
I had a moment there. I couldn't remember Sela's name.
Let's talk about this episode.
Okay.
Let's start with the characterization of Stephen Franklin. Because this whole always been running from problems thing, I don't feel like it's been super well established that that's what's been going on. And I'm wondering if you have the same take on that, or if you're like, well, no, when you look at it this way, you can see it. Like, since the stem cell stuff or stem.
I think he missed a few of the lines in the episode that he was talking about running away from. He ran away on ships.
Mm-hmm.
And he ran away from his father. He ran away when they asked him for data on Minbari during the war that they could have used for biological weapons. He ran away with the stims. He ran, he keeps running away from things. So I think they did lay it fairly well.
So correct me. Let's work through this, because in this episode, I agree that they said those things, and I heard them talk about how he did run away from those situations. But in the series that we've seen him so far, I haven't seen him as being someone who runs away. That he stood on principle, being unwilling to give the genetic information on the Minbari because he thought that'd be a war crime to do genetic bioweapons. We see that he's courageous in doing the Underground Railroad stuff.
That's true.
I really feel like once they introduced the stim packs, that's when we start to see more of this running away personality. And even then, was he running away?
You don't think he was? I mean, he went on this walkabout too.
Yeah, so that's the biggest thing where he was running away. Yeah. So that's the thing. Like,
well, maybe he's being a bit hard on himself. And that's possible too. I mean, we all are probably the harshest critics of ourselves. He sets a high standard for himself. He definitely does that, Trevor Lauren.
Oh, so Hoot was saying an interesting thing, that he used his principles for easy ways out of who he might be, not wanting hard responsibilities for who he is. And I think that could have been maybe a more appropriate take on this scene. And don't get me wrong, this is a minor quibble for me. It just stood out, and so I wanted to talk about it.
Okay,
very minor quibble.
That's fair.
I think that they could have presented this more as he has always defined himself by, and he said this at one point, so I feel like they could have leaned into this more, that he's defined himself by what he isn't instead of what he is. And I think if they leaned into that, where it wasn't that he was running away all the time, but that he was allowing himself to be defined by what he isn't. And he was too scared to look at for who he was, that he started to lean into stim packs because he was scared by what he wasn't. And so he's like, I gotta push that away. I can't be anything except the doctor. The doctor's the only aspect of my life I'm allowing myself to be, because I don't know who I am outside that.
Well, he did mention at one point that he hadn't listened to music for enjoyment for quite a while.
He did.
So, I mean, that was an example of things that he wasn't doing, that he thought he wasn't. Apparently, I'm ignoring Thomas. Thomas said, I'm trying to find it again.
Were you?
Said, Jeff, were they divorced or was she presumed dead? They didn't divorce. If you're talking about Sheridan and Anna, she was presumed dead, I think, because she was on that expedition to the Outer Rim and went to Zahadum. They didn't know it was Zahadum. They just found the planet and some.
So here's
Omni says Anna was presumed dead. The Icarus was declared lost. Although we did see Mr. Morden, who was on the Icarus. So
here's something I've been wondering about with these people helping the Shadow Spiders. Are they dead?
That's a good question. We don't know.
Yeah, because it's one of those things where Discount Rod Sterling, he seems to be kind of in the same boat as Sebastian, where it seems like he's been around a lot longer than you would think he should have been around and still looks so young. So it's one of those things where it's like, is he being frozen and unfrozen? Or is he dead? Because the way they dealt with Anna seemed like she straight up died. And so to see her here again, it's like, what sort of reanimation thing are we doing here? Is she still herself? Has she been brainwashed? Was it she was
being
captured?
Controlled.
Yeah. Like, is she basically a flesh puppet? There's got to be a better word than what I just said.
I mean, they were both on the Icarus, so I'm not sure about Morden being older than he should be. I mean, he was in the Earth records. He just said that he's been away for a long time, and his identicard hadn't been updated.
That's true. I forgot that he was on the Icarus. That was that was the connection they did to have Sheridan be like, wait a minute, I recognize this person connected to my wife. I remember that episode now. Yeah.
Hoot Owl asks, is Morden a meat puppet? As if you go by that logic, is Anna?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering right now. Like I remember us talking about this a little bit, and I had been wondering if Morden had basically sold his soul to the devil, sort of thing. But now it's like, what if they're just brainwashed? When you have a race of creatures that can create living ships or organic-esque ships, what could they do with a dead person? I mean, could they...
Good question.
Could they infect a person in such a manner that their consciousness was suppressed, like the Psychor was doing with the sleeper, with Talia? So that's a good question. Is Morden a zombie? Or there was an episode where someone had done a bunch of murders, and as the capital punishment they wiped his mind.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I remember us having a big discussion about, does that mean that the original person is dead? Is this really a brand new person?
That's an interesting theory. I've not heard that one before for Morden or Anna.
Now, to be fair, it seems like the Shadow, they need a telepath to control their ships, but are they telepaths? Because they can be stopped by telepaths. I don't know yet. This episode is giving a lot of things to think about in tangential ways. And
you can see the rewatch value in this show because there's so many questions and so many things to consider. You pick up on things in each rewatch. And Joel's right. Actually, they don't need telepaths to control their ships.
Oh.
But the reason that they were taking telepaths, I think, was in response to telepaths being used against them.
Okay. So interesting. And then
Beth, I'm not sure how you pronounce her last name. Toyssaint was the original actress who played Anna in the video recording.
Okay.
That also played Ishara.
Okay. Hoot Owl, I have no idea what that question is supposed to mean.
Do the shadows drink Bavari with their chilled spoo? I doubt it.
So yeah, we'll see next week with what's going on with Anna.
Well, you did mention that there would be a hook that makes Sheridan go to Zaha Doom. Is she the hook?
I would imagine so. I'd call her the bait. Why so strongly to be warned not to go to Zaha Doom? Maybe it's not Dolores that gets taken there, but Anna.
Maybe.
Oh yeah, and Omni, maybe Anna kidnaps Dolores.
That's possible. And is she Morgana Le Fay?
Ooh, the one who's a threat to Arthur. I would certainly think so.
And of course, this goes back to the late arrival at Avalon, where Delenn, or Dolores, played in a way Lady of the Lake. She takes a sword from Arthur at the end. And in response to this question on the Usenets, JMS simply said, "Yep."
Is she Morgana? Yeah, I think it makes sense because, I mean, the Arthurian legend, she would definitely fit the category of the one most dangerous for Arthur. I mean, we're playing a little loose here, but I think that thematically it makes sense.
It does. And JMS cooperates with that.
And Texas was asking, what do I think the purpose of the walkabout in this episode were with regards to Franklin's Storn stories? Storns? Franklin's Storns? Stims, maybe?
Thomas, we're talking about Sheridan's Anna, not my Anna.
Okay, so honest. Oh wait, I need to switch.
Story.
There we go.
I'm not sure what Storin is.
So let me answer the general question. What do I think of
story? The Franklin story.
So I think having introduced the whole stem dependency in Franklin, that it needed to come to a head. Now, as to why give Franklin the stem addiction in the first place, I honestly don't know why they chose, like, that might, I don't know, that almost strikes me as a random choice. Like, hey, we need something dramatic here, let's give him stems. I'm trying to think about the initial thing that brought on the stem usage.
He didn't think he was enough. He didn't think he was enough. He needed to do more. He thought the stems would give him the ability to do more, but he was running away from work by taking the stems. Apparently, that's what he told himself anyway. He said, Positive Candor says, overworked and underpaid.
Who now wants to know who is the girl squirrel in the Disney Arthur legend? Just a girl squirrel. So this is actually interesting. If you read The Once and Future King by T.H. White, maybe, the first half of the book is a lot of what you see in The Sword in the Stone, the Disney version, where he does go through a lot of transformations. Merlin transforms Arthur into these different creatures, and you actually find out as he's pulling the sword from the stone, he can't do it, and the creatures start talking to him, like the memory of them. And like he says, and he remembers, the beavers say to do this, and the fish say to do that. And by remembering how all these different animals use their strengths, he's able to pull the sword out of the stone when no man could do it, because he has more than just, like, he's able to draw on those memories. And so the Disney version actually followed the book fairly well for the first half. And then they stopped it because the second half gets a little Games of Thrones-y with the relationships.
Texas has a good point. Originally, they had a different doctor on the show. That was Dr. Kyle.
Right.
And he was using stems in the pilot episode. Now, if they had kept that character, Dr. Franklin's story would have been Dr. Kyle's story. So the stems idea went all the way back to the first episode produced, or the pilot produced.
I had forgotten about that.
Yeah. Now, here's an interesting question that JMS was asked on the Usenets. He was asked, have you ever gone walkabout? And he answered, well, yeah, kind of. Back when I was living in San Diego before it got nuked, LOL, I got into kind of a similar mode of thought and would go for walks through downtown San Diego at 2 to 4 in the morning. Hours and hours and hours just walking through parts of the area where I could have gotten killed. When folks asked me why, I couldn't answer. All I could come up with was that I was looking for something. And I found it, kind of, in a somewhat similar situation. But that gets into something into some other personal areas, and this may not be the right form for that. Suffice to say, I was almost killed myself. I got attacked and mugged by a gang and beaten nearly to death and survived only by sheer act of will. What got me through the attack and its aftermath those years ago was sheer unadulterated rage that I would not allow them to take my life because I had stories left in me to tell. And no matter what, I'd tell those stories. And he didn't put it together until this question was asked of him, that he put his own life into Franklin's story, because Franklin almost gets killed in this episode, and he fights to live and do it all over again. JMS
cool.
fought and lived to tell his further stories.
That's real cool.
Yeah.
And Omni, I had forgotten about that. Excuse me. That Dr. Kyle left the stims with a note for Franklin saying you're going to need these.
Tex asks, but you never actually answered the question that he asked. What purpose does walkabout serve? And what purpose does shadow dancing serve with regards to Franklin's story? That's an interesting question. Well, Franklin said that walkabout was to find himself.
Right.
And he didn't think he would do it literally, and maybe he didn't actually do it. He was hallucinating himself, but he found who he was.
I mean, shadow dancing, to go back to the idea of the, shadow sparring, he was literally arguing with the hallucination of himself. I'm sorry. I'm not bored. I just got tired very quickly.
No, I understand. I took a nap earlier. It's just wiped. And I kind of think this might go with Sheridan's story a little bit, because they were talking about Sheridan being the hand, and you have two hands that are equal but opposite. Well, maybe that kind of is what's going on with Franklin too. He's finding himself and finding who he is, and that he was being the opposite of what he wanted to be. Now he will be or he hopes to be, who he truly is. There was another interesting point on the Usenets. JMS was asked, why didn't the shadows emerge right away next to their targets? We heard the line from Marcus saying that they were 3 hours from their target. And JMS answered, so they could drive any other ships toward the center in the killing zone. If they came into the center itself, right away, everybody splits in every possible direction, and that makes running them all down very difficult. So if they're coming at them from afar, they're still driving them toward the center.
Okay.
John says maybe the purpose of the walkabout is to show that Franklin's a bit of a doofus. Well,
I think the walkabout
acted like a doofus.
I think the walkabout concept was a good way to resolve the storyline with the stim packs that needed to come to a head. It had been growing. Garibaldi had confronted him on it. He had gone behind Garibaldi's back. It had to come to a head. And it needed to come to a head in such a way that he did leave his position or was fired. And something caused him to come back to it in a right mindset. And so I think the walkabout was a very useful way of accomplishing that. And
Makes sense.
The idea of meeting yourself, it works for that final scene where he literally gets to have a session with himself to address these things that he wasn't being willing to address. Like he was literally going through all this thinking he was on the right path while still not dealing with anything that had brought him to this point. And Texas is saying, I have an idea on it. Think back to Walkabout. They have images of Franklin refracted. The first couple of times it's clouded, but at the end we see him clear but still fractured. That's true. The lady with the glass.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And what I think that Walkabout is him rediscovering why he became a doctor in the first place. And here he finally faces his real personal problem. So that's an interesting take. And I think a great way of really hammering, if that was the point he was going for, to hammer it home, to have one more moment where he went from being cloudy and Walkabout to fractured at the end, to having a moment where he was clearly seen through the glass, or even better yet, have a moment where he went past that fractured state again into clear glass. So it gave the visual image of him going from being lots of different who am I and coalescing into one. This is I almost said Jeff Franklin. This is Stephen Franklin.
Hoot Owl says, in summary, Franklin is now ready to become a technomage and upgrade the White Star.
Yeah, and of course the biggest reveal is going to be that O'Brien is the chief technomage.
Ooh, jumping universes here. Okay.
It would be really funny if they got the actor who played Miles O'Brien to do a cameo.
Cole Meany.
I very much doubt they let people jump like that between DS9. Like him having a guest spot as one of the main characters on DS9 at this point. I bet not.
I doubt it. So who's the man in the middle?
Okay.
It's one of the few things that we don't get an answer for from the dream.
Okay, so yeah, the dream sequence. We see Ivanova with the crow, which I actually ended up being right on that.
Do you know who I am, is what she asks.
And we talked about the fact that the crows were often in Norse mythology for having foresight, and I remember speculating that she's probably a telepath. I swear I speculated this. I'm probably wrong about what but I swear I was there.
Well, you might have said psychic, but you know.
Yes. Yeah. And then we saw Garibaldi with the dove. And what was the thing he said? Was that you are the hand?
No. Ivanova says that at the end. You are the hand.
Is he the one that says the man in the middle is searching for you, or?
I think so. Yeah. I'd have to go back and watch the scene again.
We saw himself in a Psi-Corps uniform, which was supposed to be a reference to Bester joining forces with him.
Mm-hmm.
Which, okay.
Psychic cores.
Yeah, the Psychic Corps.
Yeah.
Then Garibaldi made the comment about the man in the middle is searching for you.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ivanova said, you are the hand. And was there one more thing? That was the four things said, right?
I think that's it.
Do you know who I am? Bester and himself in the Psi-Corps uniform pointing to Bester. Man in the middle is searching for you. You are the hand. And they were speculating in this episode that the man in the middle was someone who was a reflection of himself, or who knew him very well. And yes, Omni, I 100% caught the Signs and Portents reference.
The season 1 theme.
And that was the episode where Londo was told about the hand, right? I see a great hand.
No, that's the episode where Morden, Chief Rod Sterling, comes on the station, talks to all the
ambassadors, yeah.
Ambassadors, and he saves the eye
right
at the end, and they have the big space battle around the station.
But I remember that the Centauri who died, his wife was a seer, whatever they call them, and I thought she did a reading on Londo.
Well, she said that her uncle would die by shadow.
Okay, so we don't get the hand at all in that episode. Londo himself later has a dream where he sees a hand.
Well, the Technomage says that I see a great hand reaching for the star, and that's what he tells Londo. And about his victims.
Okay, yeah, I mean, Majel Barrett did jump around, but she wasn't a main character. And the Technomage says it to Londo. And in fact, he says, you are the hand. Like, Londo has the dream, and then after the dream, the Technomage says that you are the hand. I want to say. Anyway, the point is I'm going down the wrong rabbit trail with the sign of portents connection.
Yeah, that was like one of the best episodes of season 1, where Morden comes on the station, talks to the ambassadors. He latches onto Londo and then saves the eye from the Centauri diplomat that's trying to take control of Centauri Prime, become the Emperor.
But what do you want?
Right.
What do I want? I want my people to be great again.
So who's the man in the middle?
Yeah, good question. Don't know.
Some have speculated, I'll just throw this out there, that it's, even though the gender isn't correct, that it's Anna.
Are you doing...
I don't think it means what you think it means.
Thank you, Psycor. It says, are you looking for your future love? Are you wondering if the Technomages are going to upgrade your ship? Do you want the answer to Jeff Nerdy? Call us. We have the best psychics in the Earth Alliance. All psychics registered in California. Thank you, Psycor.
Appreciate it, Psycor. I think. I don't know what that is. I must have gotten lost in translation or something on me. I don't know what Jeff Nerdy is. I've heard of Jeff Nerdy.
And yeah, Dylan did say that we have two hands, both equal and opposite.
Yeah.
And I mean, it would be interesting if Londo was one hand, you're the hand, and Sheridan was his opposite.
Ooh. There's a connection.
Because, I mean, okay, so Londo recently has made some distancing between him and the Shadows, but at the same time, even more recently, he's really gone in with them again.
He has. Josh says, man in the middle is Sheridan with his dead wife on one side and Dolores on the other.
Okay. Equal and opposites.
That's an interesting take.
So, I mean, we have heard two people called hands at this point. And that is Londo and Sheridan, and they both are currently aligning themselves on opposite sides of this war. That Londo is aligning himself with the Shadows, and Sheridan is aligning himself with, well, I say the light for lack of a better word. We haven't really seen much of them beyond one episode, and that's questionable if that was even them. The one with Sinclair's girlfriend.
Sorry?
Was that also Sign Importance?
No, that was much earlier. That was
Mind War?
It was Mind War, or she went to Sigma 957.
So I mean, I'm assuming that's the light, but for all I know, we haven't even seen the light creatures yet, and that was just another.
Well, we did see them. We did see them. Remember, Ivanova went in the White Star with Marcus, and they were searching for first ones.
Okay,
Zog.
I remember them. Yeah, so I remember searching for the Zog, for the first ones with Zog.
Well, they got the answer, Zog.
Oh,
and then,
was it the Zog who were at the Epsilon, blah, 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 blah?
Sigma 957. Is it 957? 95 something.
Zog yes, Zog no?
That's where Catherine went.
Okay.
And that's where her ship got disabled. 957, thank you.
So that was not the Shadows opposites. So let me put it this way. So you don't have to spoil anything.
Maybe not.
I'm making the assumption that there is a first order species race that is the equal and opposite of the shadow spiders. And below them, we have the first ones. And the Vorlons are kind of on the cusp there, the first ones. Then you have Zog, and we're hoping to find some other first ones. But I'm assuming that they're actually below the shadow spiders. Because it seems like the shadow spiders are already well established when they had the first war with the first ones.
I think we were told that the shadows came first.
Right?
I think we were told that already.
So I'm assuming at this point in time that there is an equal race of light. And that's not the Zog. So this is just my assumptions, but I feel like this is where they're going. And I want to say that the Vorlons, maybe they're at the same level as Zog, but I feel like they're a little bit maybe below them. I'd have to rewatch that episode again.
Thomas asks, aren't the Vorlons the opposite of the Shadows? Well, we kind of get that impression that they're on the opposite side of the Shadows, that they're in conflict with each other, especially after the Shadows went after Kosh after the Vorlon attack on the Shadows.
Mm-hmm. I should already know who the opposite of the Shadows? Matthew, you already know who the opposite of the Shadows is? You'd like to think that, Josh, but apparently I don't. Yeah, there I go again with the light aliens. I'm assuming they're out there, Thomas.
Malthus, you're right. It was the nephew who is prophesied to be killed by the Shadows. I said uncle. I had it backward.
Oh, okay. So I want to say, I'll have to watch the episode again, because I want to say that the Vorlons definitely are younger than the Shadow. I want to say they're younger than the Zog. Maybe they're around at the same time. I forget. I'll check again. And I think the Zog are separate from the light aliens. Because otherwise, why would they be hiding right now? Like, I'm just making the assumption that there is some other race as old as the shadow spiders. That's their opposite.
Okay. Sounds plausible.
So, all that to come back to, I could see Londo being one hand, Sheridan being the other hand. The question is, who's in the middle? I say that my immediate thought is Jakar.
Could be, although I was thinking Cheap Rod Sterling.
That was one of my second thoughts.
Because Sheridan held Cheap Rod Sterling in a cell for a long time because of the death of his wife, supposed death. We see her in this episode. And of course, Londo is in league, or has been in league with Morden.
Yeah.
And Malcolm is in the middle.
Yeah, Josh was saying that I'm in the middle. I'm like, no, Malcolm's in the middle.
But I don't think we have the answer yet.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't even see, well, you saw, I didn't see Anna coming back in this episode. So.
Oh, I didn't see it the first time I watched it either, but.
So who, and it's interesting that they're doing this in response to being hit today. And so they're just speculating, like, how are they going to hit us back? Like, now that they know we're a threat, they're going to be knocking at our door now. And what's the first thing they do? They send Anna to take out the biggest threat to them right now, which is Sheridan.
Didn't see that one coming. Thought it would be a frontal assault. Shadow vessels.
So who would be the guy in the middle? Like I said, Jakar's the first one that came to my mind, just because we see him balancing between the two of them throughout time.
Do you have a point?
Morden, he does make more sense, because the man in the middle is searching for you. It wouldn't make much sense.
Jakar's already.
Yeah.
Jakar already has found him.
But even with that, would Morden be searching for him? Maybe in the sense if he's just got in trouble with the shadows. So yeah, we'll see.
Positive says, didn't you see the part where a little shadow craft came from a big shadow ship? That was Anna coming to B5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I think we got.
Omni.
I think we got that.
Yeah, I did not think that was a Technomage ship. Someone in the chat said that, and I laughed and was like, "Oh yeah, that's what it is."
I know it's a little hard to keep up with all the different conversations on it. It's okay.
Yeah. So, let's see. How'd I do in my prediction?
I think you did fairly well this time.
I definitely hit. I hit the shadow of it.
I see what you did there. Now, you didn't predict an actual battle in this episode, I don't think.
I did not.
But the rest of it, I think you got fairly well.
Yeah. How do we guess without them knowing that we know that they know that we know? Yes. I feel like
Now, you didn't talk about Franklin in your prediction, but
I did not.
So Thomas is asking someone what, Thomas?
Were you the someone that made the joke about it being the Technomage? I said someone in the chat. Or are you counting? Are you throwing that into question? Like, oh, really, Matt? Someone in the chat said that? Unlikely story.
Or is he referring to not seeing Anna in the chat since she said hello? I think she fell asleep, Thomas. She has to work tomorrow. So Positive wants to know what happens in the last episode of the season. Does Sheridan die? Does Anna die? Does Morden die? Does everyone die? Does the station blow up? Does the White Star get severely damaged?
Nope. Still holding on for season 5 on that one.
Okay.
Wait, so let's throw out some predictions here. Next week is going to be season 3, episode 22, Zaha Doom.
Ooh. Sounds ominous.
It is. They've been telling Sheridan so much. Do not go to Zaha Doom. If you go to Zaha Doom, you will die. We were just talking at the beginning of the episode. Delin was begging him in the future not to go to Zaha Doom. Remember this above all else. Do not go to Zaha Doom. So obviously next week he's going to Zaha Doom. But there's gonna be some reason for doing it, and I do think the name is exactly what the episode is going to be about. It's going to be about him going to Zaha Doom and facing what's there. The big question is, why shouldn't he go to Zaha Doom?
Why he shouldn't go there?
Yeah, I think we're going to quickly see the motivation for going there. Like, I could very much see that. In fact, I'll throw this in as a prediction. Why not? That Sheridan is going to wake up and Dolores is going to be gone. That Anna will have already left the station with her. And there will be a message to him from her telling him that he's going to have to come to Zahadum if he wants to save Delenn. Yep, I'm really going for the stretch here, Omni. I'm going to guess that Anna kidnaps Dolores, and that all happens without Sheridan waking up. Because otherwise, what are we going to have? That he's going to wake up, and there's going to be a love triangle issue going on here. I love Delenn, but here's Anna back. How is she back? Like there's just too much. There's too much to unpack for a final episode to have him to have him able to talk directly to Anna right away. I think he's going to have to. I think he's going to have a message from her. Not Jeff's Anna. Anna Sheridan.
I know this is getting confusing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, they keep thinking I'm Sebastian, whatever.
That's strange.
I know, right?
He was a guest host for 1 week, guys. He definitely wasn't Jeff. So that's going to be the setup. He's going to have to go to Zahadum. And of course, he's not thinking straight. He's emotionally fractured because, on the one hand, he was going through this quasi-marriage proposal dating thing with Dolores, where she's going to watch him sleep for 3 nights. And, he's really finally moved past Anna, and all of a sudden he's going to find out that Anna's alive. And so I think he's going to be just trying to react based on pure emotion, and he's going to have to be talked down probably by Garibaldi. That's kind of his role, though it certainly would have a sort of poetic justice for it to be Franklin, to be like, hey, I literally just spent the past 5 weeks spiraling out of control on a walkabout. You're being stupid. But I do think it would be Garibaldi. That's what he does. The real question will be, will they end the episode on a cliffhanger or not to hook you in for the next season? They have so far. They ended with Delenn being in the chrysalis at the end of season 1. And I forget the end of season 2, but I remember there was definitely a cliffhanger.
The end of season 1 also had Garibaldi in med lab from being shot, trying to warn everyone about the president being killed.
That's true.
Now, season 2 ended with the end of the Centauri war with Narn, and also Kosh revealing himself to everyone, saving Sheridan, who was falling out of the train.
So yes, and with a cliffhanger.
So that wasn't as much of a cliffhanger, maybe as the first season, but.
So let's see. Could they have wrapped up all their time stuff? What if we had some sort of time shenanigans going on? Zathras went back in time, right?
Thanks, Hudao. Yes, he went with Sinclair.
Yeah.
Because he got trapped under the beam that fell on him.
Yeah.
And they couldn't get it off of him before they had to leave the station, Babylon 4.
And they identified him, or Zathras identified the 3 of them. Sinclair was the one who was. Dolores is the one who is. And Sheridan was identified as the one who will be.
Yep.
It would be interesting if Zahadum has to be some sort of special. Wait a minute. Where was the Ranger training facility?
At the start of season 3?
Yeah.
I don't remember the planet offhand. It was on the edge of.
Okay.
Well,
No.
they did have a ranger training facility on Minbar, but there was also another one that they rescued Marcus from, or Marcus escaped from.
Yeah.
And then he went to Babylon 5 and got them to come back and rescue the rest of them.
Yeah. It was a plant that the Shadow Spiders specifically wanted. They're like, hey, the Centauri, you can have all this side of the galaxy except for that one planet. That one's ours.
Yeah. And that's because there were rangers training there. I can't remember the name of it, but
I was thinking maybe
I think it was on the edge of
Drazi
space.
Okay.
I think it was on the edge of Drazi space. Vagros 7 says Josh.
Okay.
That sounds right.
I was going down the wrong trail there. I was thinking it'd be interesting if they were on Zahadum and the Shadows wanted it because it was somehow significant. I do think
Zahadum.
I do think Zahadum is going to be a significant Shadow Spider stronghold. But that's all I got. I can't. There's so many things it could be, and JMS is going to surprise me by it being something better than what I could guess.
I think you'll like what you'll see.
So it would have been funny to have a Ranger training facility there, but we've seen how the Shadow Spiders kind of left remnants of their ships in different spots. And so that's kind of what I was thinking there, that maybe this planet was one of those remnant locations. That they wanted to get back there because it was a very significant one. The same way like on Mars, there was a Shadow Spider ship. And
well, remember, that's where the Icarus went. Zahadum.
Icarus. Yes.
The ship with Anna and Chief Rod Sterling.
And that is, okay, you're right. And that's where one of the ships woke up.
Yeah. I think they woke them up, didn't they? When they landed there. And Jakar went there too. He was investigating what was going on in the rim. He was trying to figure out what was happening. It was the beginning of season 2. And he went, the other Narn ships sacrificed themselves so he could escape.
Yes.
John, how long shall we stare at each other across Zahadum?
Different Doom, I think you're thinking of.
Well, he's talking about All Good Things, the TNG finale, where Picard and Tomalak talk to each other about sending one ship across the neutral zone to investigate the temporal anomaly.
Mm-hmm.
And Tomalak has a similar line. How long shall we stare at each other across the neutral zone?
Okay.
Same actor.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Andreas Kousilis, he played Tomalak in TNG.
That's pretty cool. I'd forgot. I know you told me that. I'd forgot.
And John likes it already, and so did Tomalak. Or is that Jakar?
So that's my best guesses for Zahadum.
Okay. We'll see how close you get.
Yeah, I do think we're going to end on a cliffhanger. I think that it would make sense for the fact that he's ignoring everyone. In my prediction, he's going to ignore everyone and go there despite being warned time and time again not to go there. And I think that someone's going to have to potentially sacrifice themselves. Maybe, or get captured in place of Sheridan. Like Garibaldi. Yeah. We'll say Garibaldi is is on like a prison ship by the end of it. So we'll see. We'll see. That's it, guys.
I'll
That's
put that in a prediction.
That's my prediction for next week, which I think we're good to go. I don't think anything's preventing us from doing it, so I look forward to seeing y'all then.
Okay, that'll be Veterans Day.
Oh, very
Tuesday,
cool.
next day. Yep. I have the day off next Tuesday.
I don't think I do. I should look. Probably not. I'm public sector.
Understood.
Yep. Well, guys, thanks for hanging out with us. I think this was a great episode, and I look forward to next week of Season 3, Episode 22, Zaha Doom.
You go to Zaha Doom, you will die.
Later, all.
Have a good week.
Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to hit that like button and share it with your friends. If you haven't subscribed yet, I hope you will. And be sure to hit that bell icon to be notified of all the updates I do on this channel. If you want to support the work I'm doing here, then I hope you'll consider becoming one of my Patreons, where you'll get early access to all kinds of videos. And until the next time, may the Lord bless you and keep you. May he cause his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Amen.